All right, so man, this is the tough part. Trying to figure out this transmission tunnel is rough. So I'm basically taking measurements, and I'm gonna try and bend a square piece of tubing that comes up here, comes up to here, makes a 45, makes another 45 across, down, and back to the other side. So that's 4 bends in one fairly small piece of tubing. So overall width is 18 inches. We want it to be 17 tall. We want this first leg to be 11. We want the center top portion to be 8 inches. So I need to figure out the rest of these dimensions. I got to figure out where the bend is supposed to start, because the bend has to start before the piece of tubing. I got to figure out how long this piece of tubing is going to be. I got a bunch to do, so stay tuned. All right, I need to get some bending software. I am not very good at this. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I keep making a similar mistake. I always seem to have too much here. I don't know. I should have ended up like right in the middle there, but I always seem to end up on this inside edge. So I'm doing something wrong. So anyways, it's a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to cut it in half and then shrink it up, and we'll put it back together, fit it in the car. All right, so that's better. There it is. I think that's all the structure that we're gonna need. I'm gonna go have a seat in my makeshift seat here. I think I'm gonna have to move that brake pedal over a little bit more, because I'm really, I mean, actually it's not, once there's skin on there, oof, yeah, I think we're getting into problems here. So I don't know, maybe I'll tweak this whole thing to get myself a little bit more room. Like I could cut this here and take that tack off of there and cut this a little bit and bring it over, so that I just maximize my, I already cut that ear off the transmission actually, but just maximize my amount of floor space here. You know, the transmission is going to be, whew, that's going to be a squeeze to get out of there without, nah, you're probably going to be pulling the engine and trans at the same time. So, it's going to be tight, but it should work. Yeah, I need to maximize this as much as possible. So I'll take that, I'll cut that off, I'll move that over, and we'll probably still end up moving this guy because, and I think I only have it, it's not on there that well yet. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, this guy, we'll have to move him over, move the brake pedal over, you know, probably an inch, just to give us a little bit more. All right, so it's the next day. We are getting closer here. So last night I got this one moved over, and I got about an inch, and I got the pedal moved over about an inch. So now we should have plenty of room. We definitely have plenty of room for a gas pedal now. Okay, so I got the room that I need for the pedal, And now I need to do some additional tube work here. I need this here mainly just to have something to tack to once the metal goes around, because this is plenty strong with these two. But we'll get that one in, and then back here I need this one here to tack to as well. So yep, I'm gonna get these two tacked in here, and then I guess I need to pull this shifter out, and then we can start wrapping the transmission tunnel in sheet metal. Alright, well here's what we got so far. I had to trim it a couple times. I left it a little bit long on purpose so that I could trim it up to make it fit as snugly as possible. So it's looking pretty good. Now we just have to weld it in.
I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting.
Okay, so that's gonna be the process. We're up to here right now. I'm going to go through, we're gonna clamp, we're gonna make sure we have a clamp near where we're welding, and we're gonna go through with the drill a little pilot hole, and then tack weld it. You can see what the TIG welder did here, because this wasn't completely butted up against the metal good enough. So when I heated it up, it just killed this instead of kind of what it did here. But even here, the tacks aren't that great, so that's one of the reasons why we're switching tactics here. But I'm gonna check in with you guys once all this is in, and then we'll cut a hole for our shifter, get our shifter back in there, and maybe we'll work on the cover for the shifter. All right, so here's what we got so far. It's all in place. A gajillion tack welds. I kind of started to knock them down a little bit, but it came out pretty good. It's not too bad. You know, we had a couple of issues, like right here. This was the last paint side I was putting on, and it just it started to get wavy in here because it was like a lot of tension on it. So I had to actually put this relief cut in it and then stitch it back up, which wasn't that easy. So there's that. I'm gonna put my seat back in here because I want to feel what it feels like to sit with the tunnel on there. That is super comfortable. I am super happy with this seating position here.
Tell me that you're ready to go. Tell me that you're ready to go. I'll be here waiting. I'll be here waiting, waiting.
got my shifter in here. And originally, actually I've already done some adjusting on it, so, but anyways, it was up a lot higher in the back here, and I got my arm down here, and I'm just like, it's not really what I was imagining. I was definitely kind of more wanted to be down pretty low. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this front off here, and I'm gonna move that down to the bottom of the tube. That'll give me probably almost an inch of extra room there, so that I'll drop the front, and then I'll have to figure out what I'm doing with the back, which is kind of difficult considering now it's inside the transmission tunnel. So, but we got to get this right. So, got to get this right. Here it is. I would call that perfect. Good morning, everybody. I am working on the transmission tunnel again today. We got that part installed yesterday, and now I am working on a cardboard template to go around this top piece here, and then we'll work on making the side pieces, and then we'll work on the floor. I don't know if we're gonna get all this done today. It's a lot actually of work. So I mean, it took me a few minutes just to get this cardboard template roughed out, so now we gotta put it in metal and bend it around this thing. Hopefully it goes pretty easy. All right, so here's what we got so far. We got this piece of metal. It's slightly shaped into the shape that we need, but as we weld it, we'll shape it. You know, we'll tack it and we'll shape it. But I got all these holes drilled in the center for that center rib to get it tacked onto there. Probably we'll do that first. You know, get it tacked onto there, and then we'll work around this part here, trying to get that tacked in, and we'll work up this way, you know, bending it, shaping it. So I'm just gonna try to get it as smooth as possible. There's only so much you can do. What we got going so far. We got this welded all the way around here. We've been clamping it on the sides. We got all the tacks up the middle now. So now, sorry about the phone. Now we basically have to come along here. I'm going to mark out a tack line in here. Some of this might have to be trimmed, like right here, it's a little bit long. So, I need to clamp it down. Thinking about trimming it afterwards. So clamp it down. We'll draw the tack line. We'll clamp it down, drill all the holes, and then tack weld it on, and then we'll move on to the other side. So I just got finished with dinner, and here it is. That's as good as it's getting for now. Yeah, this one piece basically has taken me most of the day to install. So, yikes, this took me a long time. So the next ones I need to do is I need to work on these two side pieces. So I'm going to, well, I need to get the vacuum in here because this is in some rough shape under here. We got a lot of metal dust. Let's see what else. Yeah, we'll get cleaned up here and then we'll start making a template. I'll probably work on the other side first. Alright, well, that's as far as I made it today. Or the last 2 days, I guess. Didn't quite get this one finished tonight. Oh, man, I'm tired. We'll trim this up, and it'll fall into here. All of this will. We got a kind of a convex going on here, and that's wanting to keep that from bending, so we'll have to cut it or beat it into submission or something. But we'll get it finished up, and then we'll move on to the floor panels. Up. Voila! This side is done. And I must say it has turned out pretty dang good so far. Here she is. This thing was a ton of work to do, and it's not 100% done, but it's 95% done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these floor panels in here, but this is it for now. I don't have time to do that right now. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we are going to catch you on the next one.